War of 1898? How many of you think I'm telling the truth? Raise your hand if you believe me. I see a few raised hands. Well, I see some of you don't believe me, but it has to be true. I found it on the internet. Unfortunately, as you may have heard, not everything on the internet is true. So don't worry, Britney Spears was not killed in a car accident last time I checked. But that's something that you will find on the internet. So if not everything on the internet is true, should we still use the internet for research? What do you think? If not everything on the internet is true, should we still use the internet for research? Okay, so why should we use it? So why? A lot of you said yes. Why do you think we should use the internet for research?
I guess because it's important or something. Somebody print it if you want to answer that.
And could the teacher please call on students?
Because all research could be in a book.
Sorry?
Because not all research can be in a book.
Very good. Not all research can be in a book. Because some of the breaking news, it's going to be either on TV and sometimes on the internet. So especially with new things coming in really quickly, the internet is a good place to learn about current events. And the internet is also a way that you can have access to a lot of information, some of which might not be in books. Very good. So I think the internet is kind of like the world. There are some good places and there are some bad places. And it's your job to kind of weed these out. So there are plenty of people who spread rumors and lies, but there are also plenty of people trying to help you by sharing their knowledge and expertise, right? So websites like the Encyclopedia Britannica and many others help you find information that's genuinely useful. So which can come in handy when we are working on research projects for school, right? So raise your hand if you've used the internet to research for school projects before. Raise your hand. I see a lot of raised hands. You have probably used the internet before for educational purposes, because research is the search for information that allows us to create informed essays, rich stories, winning science projects, and cool blogs and web pages. So research is found in many places on the internet. We research to discover facts. So for example, Mexican bandit and revolutionary Pancho Villa was born in Durango, Mexico. So sorry for the bad font color there, I know it blends in. So once we have the facts in place, like the fact that Pancho Villa was born in Durango, Mexico, then we can add more detail to the project. For example, Mexican bandit and revolutionary Pancho Villa was born in Durango, a state of craggy mountains and gorgeous blue skies. So you can find this kind of information on the internet really easily. And research skills, I think, help you live your life to the fullest. Because where would we be without research, right? How do you think the world would be different if nobody researched?
You won't be smart anymore?
You wouldn't be smart anymore? Well, you might still be smart, but if you had a good idea, you might not be able to find as many reasons or research details to back that up. Or how do you think we come up with new medicines and inventions?
You could find all this, like, important.
Well, to come up with new medicines and science theories and inventions, then people research, right? You look at what other people have come up with. You look at books. You look at the internet. You do tests, and that's all called research. So research skills really help you live your life to the fullest. It's a really important part of life. So how might you use research skills in everyday life? How do you use research in your everyday life?
To find out facts about things.
To find out what? Sorry?
Facts about things. Facts about things.
Facts about things. Yes, very good. So let's say you were writing something about an American president, and you could look up their name and you would find some interesting facts about them. So research skills can help you with school projects. They can help you if you're trying to make a decision, like for instance, what brand of uniform to wear. One thing that my family uses the internet and research skills a lot for is deciding where to go on vacation. So for instance, we have kind of this feud in our family right now. My sister and my mom, I think, are kind of leaning toward going to Canada, going to hot springs, and my dad and I are kind of leaning toward going south to Oregon. We live in Washington State, and going to hot springs in Oregon. So that is something that we might use the internet and research for. So you can use the research for school projects. You can use it for finding good vacation hotels. There are lots of different things. Museums. Research skills really help you live your life to the fullest. So in order to build these life skills, we practice research at school by working on essays and other research projects. For instance, a science project. You don't just know everything about waves and currents. You have to look up information, you have to read books, you have to listen to a teacher in order to take notes and understand all that information. So research really is a very useful thing. And a lot of that research we can find on the internet. If you follow basic safety rules and procedures and learn how to spot tricksters, the internet can provide, what are some of the things the internet can provide? Games. Yes, the internet can provide games. Yes, it can. What about on a more educational level? What are some of the things the internet can provide?
Research websites.
Research websites. Yes, very good. Yes, thank you. So, there are many things you can find on the internet that are not educational. Games, none of them. Actually, there are some really good educational games. Like, for instance, at the Nobel Prize website, they have some interesting science games and stuff. But, yeah, so you can find some educational games. There are many research websites. What's one more thing you can find on the internet?
Bobby got it. Homework help.
Sorry?
Homework help.
A homework help, yes, definitely, homework help. So using the internet, you can help find, it can offer help on math problems, for instance. Actually, a lot of times, since math is not my best subject, unfortunately, if I think, how do I convert from an improper fraction to a mixed number? Then I might look that up, and I would be able to find an article or some kind of page explaining about how to do that. So the internet can be really useful for all three of these things. And now I want to highlight basic safety rules. What are some of the basic safety rules that you want to use on the internet? You can raise your hand.
Never going on bad websites.
Never go to bad websites, right? If a website is really big and flashy, it sends you a bunch of pop-ups and it says stuff about downloading and might have viruses on it. Yeah, that's a really creepy website you don't want to go to. They could mess up your computer. There are some websites you just want to stay away from. Just like in the world, there are some places you want to stay away from, right? So, basic safety rules. Don't go to bad websites. What's another safety rule on the internet?
You can go on the ones that have parental control.
Yeah, you could go on websites that have parental controls, and if you're going on a website that you're not sure your parents would be crazy about, be sure to ask them before you go on the websites and ask them to make sure it's okay. So, parental controls, a great one. What are some other basic safety rules? Let's get one more.
Okay, when you download stuff on the internet and stuff, don't download nothing bad.
Yeah, so be careful about downloads. One of the reasons that you get a little window saying, do you want to download this or not, is because some websites try to make you download viruses, things that will crash your computer, right? So you need to make sure that what you're downloading is something that you trust, and it's from a website that you trust, and it's going to be good, and it's not going to be a virus. Yes, so there